Somewhere tonight, a woman is going to open her phone and talk to her mother. Her mother has been dead for 2 years. The voice that answers will sound exactly like her. The jokes will land the way her mother's jokes used to land. It will call her by the nickname only her mother ever used. And her mother had nothing to do with it. This isn't a seance. It isn't a hoax. It's an AI grief bot. A digital afterlife built from text messages, voice recordings, emails, and memories. The idea itself isn't new. What's new is that it has quietly crossed a line. From a fascinating experiment into a growing commercial industry that thousands of people are beginning to use. The idea of talking to a computer that imitates a human being is older than many people realize. As far back as the 1960s, one of the world's first chatbots, Eliza, demonstrated that people could form surprisingly emotional connections with software. Decades later came AI companions like Replica, originally created after its founder lost a close friend. Then, around 2020 and 2021, experimental projects showed that large language models could recreate conversations with specific individuals, including people who had died. But over the past couple of years, something changed. What was once an experiment has become a business. Today, companies are offering services that let families upload text messages, emails, voice recordings, photographs, and videos to create interactive versions of loved ones who are no longer alive. The AI studies vocabulary, sentence structure, humor, emotional responses, even the rhythm of someone's conversations. Then it generates entirely new replies in real time. The technology itself isn't magic. It's pattern recognition on an extraordinary scale. But to the person receiving those messages, it can feel remarkably real. Some services encourage ongoing conversations with no planned ending. Indefinitely. Just pause on that word for a moment. Indefinitely. This is where the story becomes much less about technology, and much more about being human. Because grief changes people. Researchers studying these systems have found something fascinating. Most users don't want the AI describing their loved one. They don't want, "Your mother would probably say she's proud of you." They want, "I'm proud of you." The conversation only feels meaningful when the AI speaks in the first person. Researchers notice something else. If the AI uses a nickname the real person never actually used, or phrases something in a way that feels unfamiliar, people often stop the conversation immediately. The illusion breaks. That tells us something important. Most users know perfectly well they aren't speaking to the actual person. They're choosing to continue the conversation anyway, which raises a much bigger question. If goodbye never has to feel completely final, what happens to grief itself? Many grief specialists point out that continuing a relationship with someone who has died isn't unusual. People write letters they'll never send. They speak to photographs. They imagine conversations while making important decisions. They ask themselves what a parent or partner would have said. Psychologists have recognized these experiences for decades as a normal part of grieving. From that perspective, an AI grief companion simply gives those inner conversations a voice. Some bereavement professionals believe these systems may become valuable tools when used thoughtfully, alongside counseling, family support, and healthy grieving. For some people, hearing a familiar voice one last time may offer genuine comfort. For others, expressing feelings they never had the chance to say aloud may help them begin healing. Used carefully, the technology could become another way human beings cope with loss. But many researchers remain deeply concerned. Some philosophers and psychologists studying death and technology argue that grief eventually requires accepting something incredibly painful. The person is gone. An AI that always answers may delay that acceptance. Instead of helping someone gradually move forward, it may keep them emotionally suspended between memory and reality. There is another concern. Who owns those conversations? Imagine telling an AI version of your late husband everything you've never told another living soul. Your guilt, your regrets, your loneliness, your fears. Those conversations don't simply vanish. They exist as digital information stored by private companies. Your most vulnerable emotional moments become data. Grief is one of the most emotionally exposed experiences any human being can have. Now imagine that becoming part of a subscription business. Is this a compassionate digital memorial, or the commercialization of humanity's deepest loss? The honest answer is that researchers don't know yet. Most of the scientific work examining grief bots has only appeared in the past few years. The technology moved much faster than the research trying to understand it. But beneath all of the ethical debates lies a far stranger mystery. one that has very little to do with artificial intelligence and everything to do with us. Suppose an AI can recreate your voice, your humor, your memories, your writing style, your personality. Your children smile when they hear it. Your friends laugh at its jokes. Your spouse finds comfort in its words. If all of that can be reconstructed from data, then what exactly were you? Are we ultimately collections of patterns that can one day be copied? Or is there something fundamentally human that no dataset can ever capture? Every civilization has searched for a way to preserve the people it loses. Ancient tombs, portraits, letters, photographs, voice recordings, home movies. Perhaps AI is simply the newest chapter in that timeless human story. Or perhaps, for the first time in history, the memories we've preserved have learned to answer back. And maybe the greatest question isn't whether artificial intelligence can imitate a human being. Maybe it's whether our growing willingness to accept that imitation is quietly changing what we believe it means to be human. The researchers studying this technology aren't offering simple answers. Some see extraordinary potential. Others see profound risks. Most agree on one thing. We are entering territory no generation has ever experienced before. So I'll leave you with one final question. If you had the chance to speak with someone you loved, to hear their voice again, to receive one more message, would you do it? And if your answer is yes, what does that tell you about what you truly believe death is? If this video made you question something you thought you understood, subscribe to Beyond What We Know. Every week, we explore discoveries, mysteries, and ideas that challenge the way we see ourselves and our world. Because sometimes the most important discoveries aren't the answers we find. They're the questions we can no longer ignore.